Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special edition of the Idle Park Talk Show. We are having a second edition recording with Patrick Lehman. He's the host of the Patrick Live Show. Does that on Facebook. We are happy to have him again. Today we are going to talk about a topic that I think is important for every young man. How do you vet your girlfriend or your future wife? How do you try to check if they're going to be good wife material for you? So we have three of ourselves to be able to indulge in this topic and kind of share our opinions. I think it's going to be very interesting. A lot of people I think will be interested in having this conversation because most of us, we might have had it, but I think there are ways that we could better have it when we're growing up. So this is an opportunity for us to share experience as married men. And then hopefully it can help one or two people who are trying to get married in the future. So we're going to be focused really on the male point of view. We're talking about men vetting women. So we're men, obviously. So the man point of view is where we're coming from here. So welcome again, gentlemen, and we are happy to have I am happy to have all of you here. What did you guys think of the topic when we decided to, engage it?
Thanks for having me here as usual. And I'll make a first correction. The Facebook page is Patrick Power Talks PPT. Yeah, Patrick Powers Talk PPT. So for those who want to check it out on Facebook, and that's the page.
Yeah.
And my personal Facebook page is just Patrick Powers. That's my personal Facebook page. And on that personal Facebook page, for the past few months or few years, I've been talking a lot about vetting women.
Yeah.
So what I always said was check the past and judge them harshly by their past. Judge them harshly by their past. And I used to say this for so many reasons, because what prompted me to go into this issue of women, checking women's past, vetting women as a man before you get married, was the fact that a friend who is here, this friend is in Dubai. He wanted to get married. So the aunt gave him a number of a lady to get married with. So they were speaking for a very long time. Then the same moment, this guy just said, okay, let me just ask one or two people if they know this lady. So this guy was sending the pictures to many of his friends. Yo, bro, do you know this lady? That's vetting already.
Yeah.
Like, do you know this lady? Can you tell me anything about this lady? So this picture was circulating among many of his friends. And the friends also were sending these pictures to other friends. So this picture came to one of my bros, one of my big bros here I stay with, and he was looking at the picture. So I saw him just looking at the picture, and I'm looking at his phone, like, the face, like, so I said, Graham, hi. He said, this picture, this face, that they sent me a picture here to check it out, but this girl, I know this girl.
Yeah.
I know this girl. I said, oh, so he told me the story, like, this girl is a prostitute.
Wow.
It's a hooker. And I said, are you sure it's a hooker? I said, I'm telling you, it's a hooker. She used to sleep here, this hotel, this. I know her. 100% know her.
Did he sleep with her?
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay.
That's how, even he has a whole story of how it went down.
Yeah.
So when this thing came up, I'm like, so he said, I have to tell this guy. He called this guy and told this guy, this girl is called this, right? The guy said, yes. Call this girl and ask her and call her this name. Then get a reaction, call me back. This guy dropped the call. This guy called and called the girl a certain name. And that girl was like, how do you know this name? Where? My brother, baby, who told you this name? The guy dropped and called back. I said, she's reacting very funny. He said, she's reacting funny because in the streets, that's her name.
That's her name, yeah.
Around where she used to go to sleep is where the hotel she uses is this hotel at this position.
Wow.
If she's not telling you she has changed, she's opened a shop, she's a decent girl, she goes to church, you should know that that's what she has been doing for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
And this is the particular hotel. I've forgotten the name. For those who know Idwala, around this popular place, I've forgotten the name, but that's where she used to sleep.
She used to work.
A room.
She was working, man. She was working.
Yeah.
She was working.
That's her office. That's her office. She actually had a room. So I realized that this guy had no idea about this woman that they had been talking for more than 6 months.
Yeah.
This guy, the auntie, it's 100% behind this lady. because the auntie did not know who this lady is. This lady never told this guy that, look, baby, as we are getting married, this is my past. This is what I used to do. But in the other boxes, she checked out well. She checked out well. Everything was good. So this guy was ready to say, okay, when I go back home to Cameroon, I'll get married. Then this guy realized later that this is what the girl was doing. And when he confronted the girl said, oh, I'm sorry. It was hard times. I did it only for 2 years and I stopped. And we all know, if a woman tells you her age, add 2 years on top or 3 years on top. If a woman tells you, not every woman, so let them not get us wrong. When a woman tells you, I did this for 6 months, no, it's a lie. She did it for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
So this guy was so heartbroken. This guy called the aunt. The aunt said, but he don't join church now. He don't give a life to Christ. And how would this change the past? So this is when I started talking about vetting women. That's when I came back and I said, look, many people got married to ladies. They thought they know, but they didn't know what she did in the past.
Yeah.
So it's imperative that why vetting a woman, one of the most important things you need to know about this woman, you are willing to commit with, you are willing to build a family with. That is building a whole generation, building a legacy. You should be comfortable about the things she did when she was 19, 20, 21, to up to the moment she said she has changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for me, this topic is very important. We should check the women you think is good for you. Check the woman you want to marry, vet her. We'll talk about how to do that let my brother take over.
Okay,
I definitely do agree that this is pretty an important topic to discuss, especially for young men who are looking into getting married or looking into getting into serious relationships. I mean, you want to know the person you're getting married to or the person you're getting involved with, right? It's not gambling. It's not a lucky game. Like you can't just leave that to chance. You need to look back and see where they come from. You see what they've been through. You need to know where they're heading to. And make sure that you two are somewhat compatible in at least most of the respects you're looking for, right? So again, I agree. It's quite important topic. I'm sure we're definitely going to bring up certain things that we need to look into, right?
Yeah. So when we're talking about vetting, I know Patrick has alluded to particularly the sexual past. We can all agree that a lady's sexual past is very important in a relationship. So her sexual past is one. What are other things that young men should be looking at? We've talked about the sexual. What are other things that are aside sexual?
Patrick, for me, aside sexual, you look at the woman that is submissive.
Yeah.
You look at a woman that is cooperative. You look at a woman that is feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But the woman is submissive, she will respect you.
Yeah.
But there's this issue when you talk about submissive. Now, women think
a lot of people have trouble.
You should lie down.
Yeah, doormat.
And they work on you.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But women, when you grow up from a home that your mom was there, your dad was there, and the old traditional home, like back when we grew up in the 80s and the 90s, our parents thought most women had to be submissive. Most parents thought that children, the ladies had to be submissive, take care of a man, accept it, allow the man be the man while you be the woman.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are vetting a woman, you check about if this woman is a submissive woman, if she's cooperative, if she's respectful to you, if she is how can I put this? She's feminine. She's not too masculine. For me, apart from the sexual past, her past life when she was younger, these three issues are very important in accepting that I will marry this woman. Because if you marry a woman that is not cooperative, you guys will not go anywhere.
Yeah.
If you marry a woman that is more feminine, that is more masculine, you guys will not go anywhere. If you marry a woman that is not submissive, you guys should not go anywhere.
Yeah.
Our sisters can use submissive anyhow they want to use it, but it doesn't change the fact that submissiveness is one of the most important things a man needs from a woman.
Yeah.
And for those who are Christian, it is written everywhere in the Bible.
It's written in the Bible.
The problem is that we just decided to see it as a very bad thing because we always pick the exception. Most women, they pick the exception and try to make it the rule. Because this person beat up the wife, and this person beat up the wife, this person was maltreating the wife because she was submissive. It's not everybody that is beating the wife. And So for me, those three aspects are more important. before you look at the character.
Yeah.
Look at the character of this lady you are dating. Now we go back to talk about maybe the family issues, the family she comes from, the family history. Those things also are important when you're dating your future wife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Asan, do you have anything to add?
I just wanted to add a few things to what Patrick mentioned earlier. So I think sex is as important as you want it to be for a man. Some men are comfortable digging into the past to see the girls' ex-boyfriends and ex-lovers and ex-relationships, right?
Yeah.
I think you need to be comfortable
digging into that past.
If you feel like it is not that important, and if you feel like you're not comfortable handling the past, I would advise don't look into it.
Don't look at it.
Again, like I said, it's only as important as you want it to be,
you
right? You can choose this piece of the vetting to be less significant to you. You could ignore it. For most people would say that aspect of the past is said and done. I mean, I'm not saying that you should be comfortable marrying a prostitute, for example. I'm just saying that
neither are you saying we should expect to marry virgins.
There's no expectation that you get a virgin.
Yeah.
But every man has had a relationship. Every woman has had a relationship before you. There's I hate to say, but there's no virgin that I know of.
The likelihood of finding a virgin to marry, particularly if you're looking of a woman who's of a certain age, is very slim. And my experience is not, I don't think men are going out there to purposefully look out for virgins, or men are going out there to look at women with the lowest body count they are out there. But I think what Patrick, and I'm not speaking for you, but I think what Patrick was trying to say is, how did this woman treat sex in the past? Did they relate sex? Did they hold sex to a high value? Did they treat sex in the context of a committed relationship? Or did she really just give out sex to anybody that just came by and probably threw a little bit money of her, or appreciated her beauty or something like that?
So what was the difference between sex was a business and sex was for pleasure? Say I had 200.
So for me, the way I see it, the woman has separated emotions from the aspect of sex.
Yeah.
She separated commitment from the aspect of sex. So when you're looking to vet a woman's past, did she give sex to someone that she was truly attracted to? I think that's one of the things that you're supposed to be looking at.
She was just sharing it to any man.
To anybody.
Some girls who just share it. They just keep sharing.
Yeah.
We know them. So if your brother comes to marry that girl, say, bro, that guy is shareable.
Exactly.
It's up to him to decide if he wants to marry her.
If he wants to do that.
He already has the information. So are you sure that, because I always say that most of the things women do is hidden in their past. The things they'll do in future when they are angry. The things they'll do tomorrow when they are pissed. Most women, when they get angry, some of them go back to their ex-boyfriends because they're angry. They want to spike you. Is this the kind of woman you are getting into? When I talk about checking her past, it's not like just the sexual part is most important. But there are things women do that they are hiding from you, the man, not to know. They will not tell you, I did this thing. Because they themselves are not ashamed about their past. My brother, if you think I am joking, go to my Facebook page, Patrick Powers, and see how angry women are when I tell men to judge men by their past and check them. You see the amount of attacks I have. If this thing is not so important as they claim is not important, why do they get so angry?
Why are they angry?
When somebody wants to check about their past? The fact that you are so angry and paranoid when I ask men to check your past is the more reasons why men to check your past, especially your past sexual lives.
Yeah.
Because if you've slept with more than, we talk about body count. If you are 30, you are 29, and you've slept with more than 20, 40 men, and you are not, it's not even prostitution.
Yeah, like how did you treat sex? Did you value sex?
When you have that knowledge that this girl has slept with more than 40 men at the age of 25, 26, she was just doing it anyhow in the streets, not even like a prostitute. If you are willing to accept that knowledge, and accept it, and knowing that this is what she was before I accept her. That's your choice. You vetted her, you accepted it, right? But you should know it. It shouldn't surprise you. It shouldn't bite you in the ass when you're married to this lady. Then tomorrow you're walking around the street, somebody say, that girl with the old part don't pass on top. That thing, it breaks the trust. And when that trust is broken in the matrimonial home, divorce is guaranteed.
Right.
Torture is guaranteed.
Yeah. What is it about sex? It seems to be the most important thing for men to vet out. Like, how did a woman treat sex in the past? What is it about sex, and particularly with women? I don't know if you guys are treating it the same for men and women. What is the aspect with sex that it's so important for men, particularly single men, to check? How did this woman treat sex in her previous life before before they get married to the woman? Patrick, maybe.
I think there's a lot of things that come with that, right? Again, there are lots of STDs out here, sexually transmitted. There's a probability that the more promiscuous you were, there's a tendency that you might catch something. So a young man who is looking to get married to a woman wants to know that this girl was not promiscuous in any way, or wasn't too promiscuous to the extent that you would worry about what they might be bringing to your home, right? So if you're looking at it from the health perspective, you want to be sure that this woman is not bringing stuff that she might pass on to me. Yeah. And you also want to look at it to understand how important sex is for her as well. So, for example, if I walk out of town 3 weeks in a month, can this woman stay 3 weeks without needing to pleasure herself? And if I'm not around, would she be tempted to go somewhere else to get that to get the desire? Because again, you slept with 70, you have like 20, 25, 35, maybe 100 people body count. Now you have to start thinking, was she just having sex for the sake of having sex?
Yeah.
Or was there a need? Like, can she do without it, even for a month, if I'm not around, right? Those, when it comes to those are things that maybe you want to consider. And again, not saying that wanting or liking sex is bad, or it's a bad thing. No, just, are you able to control your urges if your husband is not at home?
Yeah.
Or will you be tempted to find someone else to satisfy those needs?
Yeah.
Okay, that's very powerful. That's very powerful. The fact you said, that part you said, when you are not at home for 2-3 weeks, are you sure your wife can keep her needs in check, her urges in check? But for me, I don't think that's even the most important. The most important is for procreation. You are building a legacy, you are building a future. Procreation comes through a woman.
Yeah. You want to guarantee that the offsprings are yours.
You have to guarantee the offsprings are yours. If you have that doubt in your mind that this lady is not yours, there's a lot of issues. You will never be peaceful. When you know already a woman has a high body count of 30, 40, you are not sure what happens when you are not around.
Yeah, not there. Yeah.
And when you lack that trust, why marry her?
That's so true.
When you lack that trust, and I will talk from personal experience, very personal experience. I don't talk about this thing a lot, but I talk from very personal experience. I bring this thing up. I dated a girl once. We almost got married. We stayed in the same house. At one point, I wasn't sure about my traveling. And it's a girl I wanted to get married to. I wasn't sure that if I leave this girl and I travel, this girl will stay maybe a year without having sex.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. And because I wasn't sure, I was uncomfortable. So I started preparing in my mind that if I travel, there's a possibility that I will not have any contact with her. Because I feel deep down in my soul, from what I am seeing, that she will not wait for 6 months. She will not even wait for 3 months.
Yeah.
And how did I come to that conclusion? It's her movements when she was around me. The things she was doing when she was around me. And because I was in love, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But one of my brothers said through a slang, and I went back on bed and was sleeping. It came back to me. I always tell you about Myers Monroe. I saw Myers Monroe's face. Like, what will I do in this situation? I got up. I said, wait, let me keep emotions aside. Let me keep love aside. But love will not sustain my marriage.
Yeah.
Let me look at this lady, real as a woman I want to spend my life with, and see. And I started asking questions. I started looking at her. I followed her once. When she told me she's going to the hospital, I followed her. She wasn't going to the hospital. She was dating somebody. She claimed within her soul she hated. He's a sumuka. Oh, look at his hairstyle. He is like this. That guy is a very dirty guy. I was shocked. I nearly had high BP because I wasn't expecting her to be this guy that she's doing these things with.
Yeah.
So, my brother, with the moment you are not sure that this lady can keep herself in check when you're not around, marrying that lady is killing yourself.
Yeah.
You cannot marry somebody you don't trust. And if you cannot trust her sexual life, that's enough reasons why you are already in a wrong foot. You are shooting yourself in the foot if you get into. If you cannot trust her sexual life, you will not trust the baby she's giving you as yours.
Perfect. So somewhere in the world, some person, probably a female, is looking at us and questioning, why is it that men think sex is so important for vetting women, and we're not talking about important for men? What is your guys' response to that? I don't know if I frame the question.
I don't think we are saying that is not important for men as well. We're just saying, how much control do you have over your urges? I think that's what is key. I might be the most sexually inclined human being on earth, but I might equally be able to control my urges if my partner or my husband or my wife is not present. I think the key is being able to control those urges, as opposed to us saying that it's not as important for men as it is for women. I guess people get married because they want easy access to. You want easy access to sex.
Yeah.
That is a pretty good reason to get married, right? So we are not saying it's not important for us as well. We're just saying it tells your sexual history tells us something about you.
And women. The issue is this. I talked about looking at my platform. Women don't like it when you tell them that you want to check their past, but women do that.
Oh, they do.
Before a woman says yes to you, even to give you her number, she checks you out physically first.
Yeah.
Are you tall enough for her? Are you short enough for her? Are you muscular enough?
How are you dressed?
Do you have this? How are you dressed? Are you financially capable of taking care of her and the children? Women do that.
They do that, yeah.
But now, when you, the man, you think you should do it, it's a problem, because we have a generation where women feel they can do things and have a free pass, but men should not do it. Right? And it's not only about the sexual issue when you're coming to vetting a woman. Where did this woman come from? What about her family? Where did she grow? Who groomed this lady?
Yeah.
These things are important when it comes to vetting a woman. Because people say women, if a woman says no, she will not marry, you will not get married. It's the truth. But who asks who stands in marriage? Who is the first to come and say, will you marry me?
Yeah.
It's the man who says, will you marry me? Then you have the choice to say yes or no. If he doesn't ask you, you will never say yes or no.
Answer, right?
And when you say no, it's your decision to say no. You go, and he goes to the next lady and asks, will you marry me? Until one will say yes, and then they get married. So this issue, it's very important, because when you know where the woman you want to marry comes from, you are able to make informed decisions. You look at the family where she grows from. You are able to determine that even though she comes from this kind of a family, there's a high level of percentage, there's a high chance of a probability, not possibilities. There's a high probability that she'll be a good person.
Yeah.
Because people used to say that a woman is the mother.
Yeah.
You cannot have a very bad mother. People refuse to get married to families. People vet families and say, you will not marry that family because of the mother.
Exactly.
Especially the mother. You will not marry in that home because of the mother. So people, it's not all about just the family, the sex issue. But sex issue is important for men Oh, not for every man, for every man, but most men. Why do women lie about their body count?
Because
they
deep
want the man to be
inside,
comfortable, to feel
yeah,
like
deep inside, they know it's really important. Yeah.
Why do they get very uncomfortable when we talk about their past?
Yeah. Because
that past
Yes.
might destroy what they are hoping to get in the future, right?
Good.
Yeah.
So if they are willing to hide it, they are willing to not let you know what is happening there. It means there's something there that you
they do acknowledge.
should
Yeah.
know. They do acknowledge. For women who are sincere, ask them this question: if your brother wants to marry a certain lady you know, will you accept?
Yeah.
They will say no. These same ladies will tell their brother, don't marry this girl. She has been doing this. Because it's their brother.
Yeah, because it's their brother.
It's their blood. It's their son. But when it is you that is not close, oh, she has changed. She don't join church now. She's a born again.
Yeah.
Will you allow your brother marry the born again that was a former prostitute? They will say no. These girls who are in universities doing all these things in the early 19s, 20, 21, 22. Ask your friend. Ask one of your school, your friend that ask one of these young small that boy, half of that smonger. Hear what they'll tell you. Grandfriend, leave that one. Don't leave that one. That one is all my own. Just forget about her. If you have that information, the fact that this boy is telling you forget about it means that they can use her for fun, but don't marry her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone told a guy that if you go there for fun, it's good, but if you marry her, you cry. But this guy went for fun. The fun became so serious. He forgot what the advice, got married, and today he's crying.
I just wanted to come back to we talked a lot about sex. I just wanted to come back to the family aspects and what a man should be looking for because again, at the end of the day, typical African man will say you're not only marrying the girl, you're marrying the family. You're marrying the family. So you need to you're not only looking at what this girl has done, you're looking at the background, you're looking at the family. For example, I know girls have had difficulties finding husbands when they come from a broken home.
Yeah.
Divorce is not as common or is not as acceptable back home as it is here. Here, divorce is acceptable, it's encouraged.
Yeah.
Back home is not. For families back home, a broken home
is a failure.
It's a failure. It's a red light.
Yeah.
It's a red flag.
It will tell you that because her parents are separated, there is a high probability that this happens in your home as well. I don't know how true that is. I don't have any statistics to justify those views, but if you talk to a typical African father, Cameroonian dad, they will connect divorce as a red flag to an intention to get married.
Yeah, because people are also looking at, can you persevere in difficult times? And these elder parents and older people, they are not just saying this because they want to say it. If your mother cannot persevere with your dad through challenging times, what are the chances you're going to do that with your future husband? There's some sort of correlation there. We can't articulate it in details, but there seems to be some sort of a correlation there.
I mean, considering that you, as a child, you learn from your parents.
You do learn from your parents.
It's an assumption that most of what you know, especially
from your parents,
relationships, is what you get growing up.
Yeah.
So if your mom and your dad couldn't sustain the tension or the pressure or couldn't manage conflicts, what did you learn? The assumption is, what did you learn? What are you going to bring into this home when there is tension, when there's conflict? Will you be able to manage it?
Yeah.
Right? So that is something that, you want to, I mean, I don't know how much value you want to put into that, but that's something that you would want to consider as well.
Yeah.
You say if you are fat, you fat too.
It go fat too. If mommy not strong, woman, it will be strong.
Yeah, too. All those things.
One thing we want our viewers watching us to understand is this: we are not saying that this is a must do.
Yeah.
We are not saying that. We are not imposing. We are just giving ideas that we think are good for us to be able to make informed decisions regarding the woman we have to commit with. Committing with is for the long term. I don't feel when I talk about commitment, I talk about commitment for 5 months, for 5 years. Marriage is to
the long haul.
Us part. It's a long thing. It can take people 50 years before death do you part. It can take people 60 years. My parents have been married for more than 40 years. Was it a very super good marriage? No, they had their ups and downs, but I saw them navigate through those moments. I had moments when my mom was angry because my dad did something wrong. I had moments when my dad was angry because my mom did something wrong. I learned.
I stuck it together.
Them. So when I was getting married, I wasn't getting married because I want to divorce after 5 years. I was getting married because I want to be in the marriage till death do us part. Because that's what I've been groomed. That is where
that's what you learned from your parents.
That's what I learned, and not only from my parents, my neighborhood. I was just looking at my neighborhood today. I was making a head count from the first house in my neighborhood to the last house. They are married couples. They are still alive. Either the husband is dead or the wife is dead, but they were all married. They died as married. So I grew up seeing this. Then one thing we talk about family. Your parents, our parents, they vet our wives, our future wives. When you show them that this is the woman I want to get married to, they do the vetting. What do? I took time to ask my dad, and I said this thing on my platform. Go and ask your parents what they do without your knowledge. This generation is so carefree. Oh, I love her, I love him. But your parents don't think about loving her and loving him. Your parents go back and do underground digging. That's what we call the vetting. What do they look at? They look at the girl's family structure. That's what my dad told me. When you look at the girl's family structure, they look at the girl's mother. How is it? They ask people, how is that mother behaving? How is she? From that small, they make up their mind knowing who the girl's mother is. What about the girl's father? How is the girl's father? It's a drunkard, it's a thief. Oh, it's a very useless man. It comes, they take their mental note. Right. The other thing my dad told me about that they check that we don't even accept, we don't even know about it, that their families pre-susceptible to committing suicide.
Very important.
Mental health,
Mental health.
Their families that they go for, I wrote them down, sicknesses. They are always sick. They have funny spiritual issues coming up. There are families where they are thieves.
All those things.
There are families where I wrote sicknesses. They are thieves. They spend that. They die in a very funny way. From accidents, they just die in a very funny way.
Mysterious.
There are families where mysterious. There are families where they don't get to a certain age before they die. There's no longevity. Before 40, you are dead. 40, you are dead. 45, 30, you are dead. Nobody has attained the age.
No old age. They don't grow to old age.
They don't go to old age. So your parents, they do those findings for you because we are city boys now. Our parents, that's what they use to choose. But there is no guarantee that these things can work perfectly and the girl becomes a good wife in the long run.
But at least it gives you the opportunity to balance.
Gives you the probability to say, okay, on 100, this has come out 50 or 60%. 60%. So it's good for me to settle down based on her character. But people change when they get married. But do your due diligence. Check these things out. Do your own job as a man. Don't just say, oh, I love her, she has changed. I used to hear my brother. Some people are not changing. They did not change. They're just waiting for a new. They're waiting for the right opportunity to show you who they are.
I think we've come to realize that love is not might be an important aspect, but it's not the most. I don't think it's the most important aspect. No. I mean, love counts. But again, there are other things that you have to look into that would complement the love that you already have for each other, right? So I think love is important, but it's not key.
Cooperation.
Yeah.
That's why I spoke about cooperation. At one point in the marriage, when you are we are all married, right? At one point when you are married, you realize that you are living up to the vows you made. Are you able to stand through the test of time with this person? Are you able to cooperate with this person when things are not good? Because as you spoke, some ladies don't know to stay in marriage for 5 years, 6 years. They don't have the patience because they were not trained to stay in marriage for 10 years. They married. Everything's about them. It's about how they feel. Statistics. When you read statistics, the advanced countries, who are the highest percentage of people who fight for divorce? Women.
Educated women. Usually women, educated women.
They 80% of divorces filed in the country, in the USA, and are from women, which means that most men, about 10% of men, don't want a divorce. They want to stay.
Most men don't want a divorce.
Most men don't want a divorce because in a country like this one, divorce kills you more than the woman. In developed countries, divorce kills the man more than the woman. The woman comes out the winner, while the man comes out bleeding for life.
Another thing that young men should be considering is whether or not the lady you're interested in has children.
Oh yeah.
And how you
Very
feel about
important.
raising another man's child. I think the advantage is knowing that this lady is fertile, like would in that sense. She probably is able, there's evidence that she can procreate, right?
Yeah.
But the question is, are you comfortable? Are you man enough to raise another man's child? And are you able to manage the relationship that your wife has with baby daddy? Especially if the man, the
still alive,
biological father is alive and involved and active
in the child's life,
in raising the child.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with things like that? It sounds
a very tricky situation.
It sounds easy. It sounds easy, but I believe it's quite.
It's very tricky. Yeah.
So
because there are three people involved there.
Yeah.
And you as a man, do you have authority over that child that is not biologically yours? Can you discipline the child? Can you sustain the child financially? So there are a lot of things. I know ladies will easily dismiss the fact and say, "Oh, you should be a man and just step up to the plate." But there are so many things that come up. Yeah.
Let me cut you short, because this is another topic I am dealing with on my page, bro. My page, all this is like you guys. It's just like you guys have been reading my page, then you came up.
Oh yeah.
I stand strongly as an individual.
Yeah.
I stand strongly against marrying a woman who already has a child.
Yeah.
I stand strongly against.
Okay. Before that, people are going to listen to that.
Father is dead.
People are going to say, "Oh, Patrick hates single mothers and stuff like that." Can you please explain why?
They tell me already. It's already on my page. I hate single mothers. They say, "Oh, I spend my time attacking women. I hate single mothers a lot."
Yeah.
I'll give you a simple reason, right? It's very hard to groom another man's child when the man is around. It's not in our nature.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not in our nature. Let me take another simple example. The animal kingdom.
They would kill every child they come across.
Lions. We love using lions as our emblems. We love using lions. A lion, when the lion takes over a new pride, what's the first thing the lion does?
Kills the offspring of the owner.
Kills the offspring of the other lion or send them out.
Mm-hmm.
But his best option is killing you, because you might come back and overthrow him. Chimpanzees, the animal kingdom, they don't do it. They don't do it. Only us humans, we do it out of emotions. But now, this is what I think. I cannot keep myself in check, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a kid. I take good care of myself. Then I come and marry a woman who already has a kid.
Yeah.
You are not coming, it's a package. You are coming, it's a package. It's
a whole package, yeah.
It's overload. I feel that if the child you are carrying or you are bringing into your marriage, if the father is dead already, that's good. But I don't see how you spend your energy grooming somebody's son and the person is just sitting there. Let him take care of his responsibilities.
Yeah.
So for me, I stand strongly against. It's not that I'm against single mother. You can do your thing, but if I have to advise my person, I'll tell you, my brother, just go for a lady that has no child.
Yeah.
And build your own family. So you can have time to concentrate on your own family. Because there's one thing I noticed: when you start disciplining that woman's child,
that's a problem.
She does not like. She will stand with the child, not with you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How do you sit at home knowing that you cannot discipline your wife's child with another man?
Yeah.
Or another man the man keeps popping around to see the child. Can you take it?
No.
If you can take it, that's your decision, fine. But as an individual, me, Patrick, I always tell my people, like, nah.
I think it's one less complication to manage in a relationship.
Oh yeah.
In a marriage, it's one less problem. A child coming brings an additional layer of relationships that you have to navigate, because you're not navigating a relationship with the child in question, which is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to be navigating a relationship with your children and that child.
The relationship between that,
you're going to be navigating a relationship between your wife and the baby daddy or the biological father of the child that's in your home.
Yeah.
So it comes along with a lot of complications, a lot of complexities, and not every man I know men out here who have managed situations like that perfectly well, who have no issues with it.
Good for them.
Many men might find it difficult to manage.
Think of it as a man. If you're going to marry, why will you not go and start your family with someone? Because if you marry a woman who has a child, you're not starting a family with her. She's already started a family. She'll just continue. Yeah, continue in a family. So you can't say you started a family with her. As much as it sounds bad, like, why will you have to take on these extra complications where you can just go and start your own afresh and start with and be your own with its own simpler complexity, in some sort.
And women themselves, they know that a single mother, her chances of getting married reduces.
Yeah, that's true.
Reduces, because our African mindset, people will say, "Oh, she was jumping around, she was careless with her life, and blah 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 blah."
It's not just Africa; it's everywhere. Yeah.
I usually just use my African context. Since I'm an African man, I just use that context, but it's everywhere. Your chances of getting married drops when you have a child.
Oh, it does.
Not talk about two.
Yeah.
Right. And then what's about two with different men?
Yeah.
So what I tell my people, I tell myself is, why don't I just go and start a new family with a woman that's alone and I'm alone? Then we come together and we start a family. But you take a woman who already has a child.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't understand. I still don't believe that there's a way that you will treat all of them the same.
It's not. Yeah.
And that child, I still think that one way or the other, that is not your blood. That nature, that animal nature in us will make you at one point to discriminate.
Yeah.
Why should I just do that? So I'll prefer to take my brother's son, my sister's son, grow with it, because it's my blood, than to take another man who I don't know what the man is doing. He just abandoned the child. I don't feel like taking that extra load when I can just be my own and have my peace of mind.
Yeah.
So it counts when men also go to get married, and so women get pregnant and they hide it. They have babies, they hide.
Yeah.
Right. So women have babies and they hide the babies. You actually get married to a woman without knowing. We saw this stuff online a few days ago. This man was getting married to a woman who already has 3 kids. Then he knew on the wedding day. It was everywhere on social media.
Wow.
They were already with their wedding. The woman, they were going to the church.
So what do you do in a situation like that?
Well, you stop the wedding. It's based on lies.
They must stop the wedding. He said, "I'm not doing it."
Yeah, it's based on lies.
And that must stop the wedding because few days to the wedding, somebody came and told him, one of the best men came and told him, "I didn't know this is your woman. She's a whore. Hook up is." I shared that one on my Facebook, and these girls were begging him, "Papa, we've already spent money to buy Ashwabi. Please just get married and go and discuss it. Let's wait."
Ashwabi,
yes, I already spent 50,000.
What about a situation? What about a situation where you get married to a woman, and then realizes that their last born, let's put it that way, was a child, but it wasn't ever brought. It wasn't brought to you as her child. It was just the last born of their family.
Oh boy!
But this was the girl's child. What you're already married. What do you do? Like,
oh boy, those are tricky situations. I don't know.
Anyway, my brother, when that trust is broken, the marriage is broken.
Yeah, that's it. Like, how do you trust a woman
when you hide that
thing about something like that, right?
There's something that important. Yes.
Yeah. It happened to I say things here. People look. I've gone through a lot of experiences. My brother, I've gone through a lot. I have gone in my search of getting married, in my quest of getting married. Because at the age of 23, I actually wanted to get married at the age of 23.
Yeah.
I was dating a girl then. I was ready to get married at 23. But at 23, I was working in a very good company in Dubai, very good salary. I was living a good life. So for me, it's better I settle down with this girl I'm dating.
Yeah.
Before what happened is the past. That's how you grow. Then I met another lady. She was ready for marriage, but she had a child. I did not know.
Wow.
Do you know how I even know she had a child? In the club with my friends, this girl just came, told my junior brother, does your brother know that this lady has a child? Because it seems like he does not know. So my brother was panicking. They even told her that girl has HIV. That's what my brother was panicking and called me like, come outside. Yeah. This girl told me, this girl has HIV. Don't sleep with her. And she has a daughter of 6 years. I'm like, daughter? I said, no. But she had HIV. I said, but a test, it's negative. He said, no, that girl said something. So when I came back, it went through, I didn't take it serious. I said, maybe just, but when I came and sat with her, she said, what did your brother tell you? Because I see him acting funny and I see him talking to that lady. I'm like, oh, so you know the lady? She said, yes, she's a nurse. I'm like, what? So when I went back home, I started squeezing her. Do you have a child? She said, yes. How old is my child? My child is 8 years old. 8 years old.
Yeah.
Where's the picture? Because I've been in your house. When I come to Bamenda, I stay in this house. I've never seen any picture.
Yeah, picture. Yeah.
He said, oh, I don't have any picture of the child. In your shop, there's no picture. I said, the picture is in my shop, in my drawer.
Wow.
When so I said I want to see the child,
it feels like there's a conscious effort to hide.
To hide it.
She had a child, right?
So that's the reason. Like that. She's a good girl. I wouldn't say she's a bad girl. She was a good lady. She treated me nice. But that fact that she was hiding, because I told her, okay, let's go for the 8 test. We went again for a comprehensive test. Everything still came out negative.
Yeah.
But the fact that
she was hiding that
very important piece to me made it hard for me to see her like somebody I wanted to stay with. Excuse me. So those things, there are things that when you get married to somebody, then these things come up in the marriage. My brother, the trust is broken. When trust is broken, when trust is broken, there is no miracle this marriage will stand.
I mean, for something like that, right? I mean, you could trust again something that important and something that relevant. I think it's hard to come back from. But I think we've had this conversation, this piece of the conversation, with the assumption that every woman or every man wants to have a child.
But why
what's the purpose of marrying? Yeah.
What's the purpose of getting married?
Again, that is